Hello, and welcome back to another analysis of the top 3 biotech stocks of the week. As you know, the US market was closed yesterday for President's Day, so today it's time to break down past gains and integrate them as winning strategies for our future portfolios. Today we'll analyze the movements of Tuhura Biosciences, Phio Pharmaceuticals, and Nektar Therapeutics. Look at these gains. This is biotech, my friends. Stick around. The biotech taxi is pulling out of the station. Welcome to Taxi Biotech, a show where we dive into the latest news in the biotechnology world and learn about its impact on the stock market. The stock data I show here is just a reflection of company performance or clinical trials and does not constitute any investment advice. This is pure entertainment. So, this week the top performer was Tuhura Bioscience, skyrocketing by 252%. But why? To be honest, it took off on February 6th, here, in the beginning of this square, without releasing any news that day. If we check their press release page, the closest update was on February 2nd, here in the graph marked with this dot vertical line here. So, that day they received FDA orphan drug designation for a melanoma treatment. That's always great news. They reported completing phase 1 of their drug with no dose-limiting toxicities, proving the drug is safe. The therapy used a DNA plasmid encoding the EMM55 protein, which is expressed on the surface of highly antigenic bacteria. The concept seems simple, although it must be proven. They inject this DNA directly into the melanoma, so the immune system can recognize and attack the cells. They are currently testing this in 2 types of different skin cancer, and they are leading this company's portfolio. So, as a scientist, we understand the science, but our goal here is to understand the market moves to apply them later. If the news was so good here, why did it wait until the 6th of February to take off? Was there an opportunity here? Looking at the recent history here in the press release webpage, we can see that they had a 15 million capital rise in December. With that 15 million, they claim it would fund their 3 clinical trials. Moreover, in November, their financial report didn't mention an expected FDA announcement. So, this news here was a total surprise. There was nothing in the SEC filings either. You know, it's important always to check the SEC filings webpage if something is uploaded here, but nothing is here. So, the takeaway here we could see great news. Moreover, unexpected news. And moreover, they did a recent capital rise. So, I don't know, guys, the math was there. The trade was clear. However, you would suffer a 30% drop here before the liftoff, which usually triggers a lot of doubts. How would you react in this minus 30%? This would be tough. Also, 15 million in that stock offering doesn't go far in biotech for this company. They will likely need another stock offering soon. Keep in mind the previous stock offering here cut the stock price in half. For this company, Tuhura Bioscience, the train has left the station for this one. But we must learn to spot the same conditions here in the future. One last thing about this company, guys. Biotech firms post releases on different sites, and the one I usually use miss few press release, especially with these tiny companies. Which one do you use? I'm going to try Benzinga this week to see if it aggregates better the news. You know, I cover almost every day the biotech stock news here in YouTube in the short format, so make sure to subscribe to my channel to don't miss out. Okay, next, Phio Pharma. Phio? Pio? Well, I don't know how to say it, but it's Phio Pharma, which gained over 100% in just 4 days. I wish we could be in this trade, right? Well, that's why we are here. In this case, the price reacted to a report on February 10th, here, marked with this dotted line, where an independent safety committee gave a positive review of their skin cancer drug. Phio used siRNA, a silencing RNA, to suppress PD-1 expression in the cancer cells, making the cancer vulnerable to the immune system, similar to Tuhura's principle. The data was strong, but look at this. Here in the graph, we have a press release here on February 10th, and the stock reacted positively to the news. But here, marked with another vertical line, on January, they released almost identical data. Here in the press release of January 20th, they released this data. 70% overall response rate, 100% efficacy in 10 out of 14 patients. Magnificent, right? Yet the price didn't move here. And you would have sat through a minus 30% dip before the rally. The same behavior as Tuhura's company. So, the key lesson today. On the second press release, they updated the data and showed a dose-dependent effect. At the highest dose, the efficacy rate jumped from 70 to 85%. That specific dose effect is what catapulted the stock. Even though we already knew the data was good days before here. We will not know if any news will come after, but with good result, there is opportunities out there. And the last one, finally, Nektar Therapeutics climbed over 100% after presenting results for their atopic dermatitis drug. It showed long-lasting efficacy, keeping a high percentage of patients lesion-free with significant skin improvement. The drug stimulates T regulatory cells. These cells inhibit the immune system overreaction. You know, the cells that cause inflammation. It also looked promising for alopecia areata. They took the opportunity to do a capital rise at a fair price, asking for 400 millions on a 1.4 billion market cap, and the price didn't even flinch. It kept climbing. What can we expect from Nektar moving forward? Honestly, no one breaks it down better than Adam May in Twitter. He posted a deep dive into what's next, including a comparison table with current and future drugs. It covers sales expectations and mechanisms of action. You couldn't ask for more. I leave all the links in the comments below. So I hope you took notes on these lessons because we will definitely use them in our next super trade. See you next time. Bye.